You used to go like something like, Mr. Matt changed the stacks. Something like that. What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA podcast, but this is not an MMA podcast. This is Change of Cheddar right here on the Golden Octagon. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of the screen. It's because it is a UFC pay-per-view weekend. It ain't just me. We got this guy over here as well, Mr. D Rose, the Triple B himself. Let him know what it stands for, D Rose.
Bald, black, and beautiful.
Indeed.
But you know I am biracial though, so it's maybe bald, biracial, and beautiful.
You know, it can be anything you want it to be, D Rose. No one can tell you otherwise. How you doing today, my guy?
We're great, man. We're we're counting down to the pay-per-view, and dude, I've been getting more pumped up for the fight as it goes, and just getting all the pre-fight coverage and everything. And I'm going to wait till in the morning. I'm going to kind of watch all the embeddeds at once. That's kind of how I like
watched
to
them earlier.
Yeah, I always wait till like the end of the week, and I'll just basically like watch all of them like first thing in the morning, basically. So I kind of get caught up in all those on all the fight week and everything. And just getting excited, man. So one day away, but we're here to try to help you boys win some money. Let's lock in, and hopefully we can hit the books pretty big this week.
Did you say try, D Rose? Try ain't what we do here. We help them win money here on Change of Cheddar, D Rose. That's what we do. That's what we do.
You damn right.
Indeed.
You're right. So, I'm tripping. I gotta check myself.
If you don't know how the show works, me and D Rose are going to run through the weigh-ins and face-off photos. I have all the screenshots pulled up for you guys. The official weigh-ins this morning and then the ceremonial face-offs this afternoon. I've combined it all into one. So we're going to look through those, let you know if our opinions or bets or anything have changed throughout the weekend after seeing weigh-ins. And then midway through the show, Cheese Wheel is back, baby. D Rose is here, so we're going to spin the Cheese Wheel, give you our best bets on this entire card, or at least what the Cheese Wheel will allow us to give you. And then at the end of the show, I have 3 parlays to share with you guys, and D Rose has 2 parlays to share with you guys. So if you mash them together, that's 5 parlays that we're going to share with you guys at the end of the show, trying to turn some change into some cheddar, as the show implies. So with that being said, let's get in the chat real quick and see how everyone is doing. Austin says, "Happy Friday." He's excited for UFC 319. I am as well. And as D Rose says, dude, I am so excited for this card, man. Like, I think after Wednesday, my blood just started. The temperature just started rising, dude. This main event might be the fight that I'm most excited for all year, dude. It's good. It's good.
And if I'm being honest, like for myself, like, I've actually looked forward to this fight more. I know a lot of people wanted Ilya versus Islam, John versus Tom. Even with those fights, with potentially being on the table, Khamzat versus DDP was the one I was number one looking forward to more than any of those fights coming up, because I knew it was very possible of happening. And we're here the day before, man, and I'm excited.
Indeed. We got Antoine in here in the gym right now. We got Dave smoking fatties. we got Dave saying, "What are you doing at the gym?" We got DZ saying, "Can't wait to see DDP get his big old shaft on Khamzat's forehead." It could happen. Y'all never know. How was y'all's week? I love these nights. Sucks we lost fights. Yeah, D-Rose, we lost 3 fights, man. But we'll get into that in just a moment. I still have to watch the countdown. I heard it was really good. It was a good one. We got Lush Lomain in here. How you doing tonight, Lush? Appreciate you stopping by. Are y'all going to bet on NFL and NBA this year? I don't think I could stop myself if I tried to, Antoine.
Is the sky blue?
Indeed. And we got Matthias Pascal. I'm not sure how to say that. Hey, bro, I'm from France. I was wondering when the fight will come. Can't wait, bro. It will be in exactly, what is that? 12 hours from now is 10 a.m. and then another
24 hours from now, the main card will start.
Yeah, so 6 p.m. East Coast time tomorrow. I'm not sure what that time is in France, man, but tomorrow In the U.S. at 6 p.m. East Coast time, the prelims start. So, with that being said, we appreciate you guys for stopping by here and hanging out with us here tonight. If y'all don't mind, hit that thumbs up button for your boys, and we will go ahead and get into these weigh-in photos and face-off photos. Anything before we get started, D-Rose? Or are you ready for it, brother?
Hey, we ready, man.
All right. Oh yeah, few things we didn't cover earlier in the week was the fisting of the week. We didn't cover the pick champ, but now a bunch of fights have fallen off. So after we run through final picks, we will nail down a fisting of the week and the pick champ. D-Rose, sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, because right now we only have 1, 2, 3. We have four fights left to pick from. So I'll let you know what my decision is, but not feeling too great about it, if I'm going to be honest, because that one I felt real good about. But anyway, first fight of the night is going to be none other than Idris Alibi taking on Joseph Morales. And let me get the current odds pulled up for you guys. Odds for the fight are currently Alibi minus 455. The favorite, Joseph Morales, is plus 350. The underdog, over-under here is 2.5. The over 2.5 is minus 160. The under is plus 124. Yeah, for me here, even though Joseph Morales is the UFC vet, Idris is like mini Shavkat, man. I know he has quite a bit of finishes, but I do think Joseph Morales is probably the toughest, most veteran test he has. So with that being said, I will be playing Idris Alibi 3 or decision. And Alibi is probably one of my most confident picks of the week on this card. But he's currently a minus 455 favorite. So do you really need to say that? Which way are you going here? And has anything changed?
Yeah.
Dave needs one of them hats.
Yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth, dude. Like that hat, it looks like a gazebo with like the chain chandeliers or something like that. Like it looks pretty wicked. But
it looks like a Genghis Khan, like conqueror hat.
Or like the last emperor type, like something like that, like Egyptian goddess or god.
It looks real uncomfortable though.
Very much so, but it's a stunt prop nonetheless. He's stunting on it, but
indeed,
I'm going to stick with Alibi here.
All right, by decision.
Yes.
All right, what's going on, Skunks? How you doing, brother? Okay, so moving down to the next fight of the night, we have Killer Karine Silva, or I guess we should let you know at this point that the Danilo Donchenko versus Cesano fight has fallen off because Cesano had an injury, so that fight fell off yesterday. So now the second fight of the night is going to be Killer Karine Silva taking on Deani Barbosa. So actually a rematch, D-Rose. Deani Barbosa won this fight, I think, back in 2019, before the UFC, but she is now taking this fight on short notice. She looks to be a little bit taller of the two, but if you just look at Killer Karine Silva's arms, man, yeah, gun to my head, you were asking me, has she ever done any banned substance? I would have to say yes, dude, because she's just massive, dude, and she hasn't always looked like that. So for me, it's Killer Karine Silva. I think she ends up getting it done via decision, though. But Killer Karine Silva, 3 or decision. I don't hate it. Or if you think she finishes her, that sub 2-3 prop also looks pretty nice as well. What about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Karine Silva here. I think the short notice nature for Deani Barbosa is a little bit tough. I know is it like 9 days notice or something like that she's taking the fight on, and against Karine Silva, who, as we talked about the other day, Deani Barbosa is going to be a little bit taller, but you can tell thickness wise, just look at the arms of the two.
Dude, I wish my arms looked like her.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would love to have some arms like Karine Silva, dude. Like she is straight flexing right now. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Karine Silva. I think I might have said decision on the podcast, but then I backed up to a submission. I don't know what it is. I just got a feeling that Karine Silva, if she gets the fight down to the ground, that's what she's going to look to get done. Maybe a rear naked choke.
She does attack those legs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go Karine Silva. Like I said, specifically, I think she's going to get a rear naked choke.
All right. Well, me and D-Rose both on Karina Silva. I like that 3 or decision prop, that sub 2-3 prop, and D-Rose likes the sub. So, maybe it's just a perfect storm adding up for Karina Silva, sub 3 this weekend or tomorrow night. With that being said, moving on to now will be our first different pick of the night is going to be Edson Barboza taking on Drakkar Close. Odds for the fight minus 130. Edson Barboza, Drakkar Close plus 110. Closed up a little bit, D-Rose. Edson Barboza was a little bit more of a favorite. Odds for the fight minus 2.5, or odds for the fight is set at 2 and over under for the fight is set at 2.5. Over is minus 160. The under is plus 124. Yeah, nothing changes for me. I like Edson Barboza 3 or decision here, but just because I've seen Drakkar Close kind of run out of gas there at the end, and Edson Barboza's fought 5 rounds, so we know he has the gas tank. Moving back up to 155, I have heard this week that this might be his retirement fight. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really heard him say it, so don't really like that. But I'm on Edson Barboza 3 or decision. You still on the other side, or are you feeling any different?
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Drakkar Close here. I think the Edson is a little bit bigger facing off against one another than I anticipated, but I still think that the way Edson fights is he needs to have a clean fight and a guy not in his face versus Drakkar Close does bring that pressure style, and I think he can get it done using that style. So I'm going to stick with Drakkar Close by decision.
All right, me and Duro split. That's the first fight of the night that we are split on. So moving on to the next one, we do have Chase, the Dream Hooper, taking on Alexander, the Great Ape Hernandez. Odds for the fight, Chase Hooper minus 325, your favorite. Alexander Hernandez is plus 260, your underdog. Over under here is 2.5. The over is plus 100. The under is minus 130. Yeah, man. I was torn on this one earlier in the week because I think there's really a chance for Chase Hooper to finish Alexander Hernandez here. But that being said, Alexander Hernandez doesn't really get finished up at 155, and he has a better gas tank. But when I listened, and I'm glad that I watched Embedded earlier, because when he was on Embedded, he said he was going to bring back the old Alexander Hernandez. So he hopes that Chase Hooper is ready for fire in the first round. And after I heard that, man, I was like, Chase Hooper might finish Alexander Hernandez this weekend, dude. I like the Chase Hooper sub 2-3 prop. Tired people, they do tap. And Alexander Hernandez has definitely tapped before. So Chase Hooper 3 decision, Chase Hooper sub 2-3, kind of like the Karina Silva fight for me. But I think my official pick will be Chase Hooper 3 or decision. I'm going to go Chase Hooper via decision here, though. What about you, man?
Yeah, I still think I'm going to stick with Chase Hooper by decision. But why is Chase Hooper why is his back arched like that? Like he's almost looking like he bumped his bottom back on a corner of the wall or something like that. And now
that's how all those grapplers look, dude.
Yeah, well, he's just
you got to think about it. Think about before the lung transplant. Ben Askren. Look at who else a heavy wrestler like that. I don't know. That's how they all look. Where they're just heavy fucking fucking grapplers. Their fucking lower back is in for some reason. I don't know how to explain it. Is the fight not starting yet? No, it starts tomorrow.
Yeah, nah, this is not the stream. Yeah, this ain't the stream.
Just Donkey Kong into your house.
I said, what are you eating over there?
Just Donkey Kong and D-Rose below me.
Yeah, don't let Dave get the wrong idea of what you're beating over there.
Yeah, let y'all's imagination run wild for all I care. Anyway, moving on to the next one, we do have Lupi Godinez taking on Jessica Bata Estaca Andrade. Lupi Godinez is minus 142, your favorite. Jessica Andrade is plus 120. The underdog. Over under here is 1.5, or over under here is 2.5. The over is minus 270. The under is plus 200. Jessica Andrade looks, in pretty solid shape in there. And is it me, or she have a little bit of a height advantage there, man? We don't ever see that.
Yeah, a little bit, which is again I told you I was not super confident in Loopy, and I was back and forth. I'm pretty, man. I don't know. I'm still not confident in Loopy.
Yeah, I don't think I have this in any bets, and if it is, it's just the over, man, because we know Loopy is tough, man. She had to poop in her last fight, and kept getting hit in the body. So if you're tough enough to hold that in, I don't think you're going to get knocked out. With that being said, I like the over here. Probably not going to be bet it, but if I did have to bet this fight, it would be the over at minus 270. I'd throw that in a parlay and be like, all right, but my official pick, Loopy via decision, but I'm not going to be betting that unless it's like in a super long shot trying to win $1 million or something like that. What about you, man?
Yeah, man, because the fights on Drive had been losing, had been up at 125. She actually won 2 in a row down at 115.
Yeah.
I'm flipping my pick. I'm flipping my pick, dude. I'm
pick
flipping my
flip
pick.
from D Rose.
You can put this in the pick champ since we technically did not decide. I'm actually gonna go back on Tapology right now and change my pick. I'm gonna go on Drive by decision, man. I think Andrade gets it done. I don't know. Size advantage, that surprised me a little bit more. I did not anticipate the size advantage to be on Andrade's side, and she's more battle tested. Again, Loopy, she has a lot of bad IQ moments. I'm going Andrade by decision.
All right. That was pretty sus. He's hurt. You're lucky you have such nice teeth. Oh my goodness. Also, I know we're not starting yet, but who do you think do you think Susarkayev can be an upcoming star? Oh, of course, man. And Andrade got some first hits for a dude. Come on, Dave. Anyway, D-Rose pick flipped, and now we officially have 5 different picks again. So whether I want that to be in the pick champ or not, D-Rose, it's probably going to be included. Moving on, we have Gerald GM3 Meerschaert taking on Mikhail Husar Olashejuk. Odds for the fight: Gerald Meerschaert plus 180. The underdog. Mikhail Olashejuk is minus 218. The favorite. Over under here is 1.5. The over is plus 105. The under, it's minus 135. Yeah. Man, I like the over here. I know a lot of people on Mikhail Olashejuk round 1 knockout, but I just think at some point GM3 gets a hold of Mikhail here, and this goes to the ground. I'm not saying he's going to finish him in the first. If I have to have a bet on this fight, and you'll hear from me later about this bet, it's GM3 sub 2-3. It's like plus 800 currently, and it's a GM3 fight. How could you not bet that? But another one is GM3 3 or decision, which is currently, what is GM3 3 or decision? Plus 425, man. It's just wild. And then GM3 via decision is plus 650. I'm on GM3 to win this fight, but as always, GM3 round 3 submission. What about you, man?
I'm going to stick with Olashejuk here. I think the size advantage, or the face off, I don't think there was a real size advantage on either side. Again, Olashejuk's the better boxer of the two. GM3 could take a shot, but not like he used to. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Olashejuk by knockout. I want to say round 2. I'm going to stick with it. So, and it should be a banger of a fight. I mean, GM3 does always bring it though. I mean that round 3 sub. If it gets to that point, if it gets around 3, I'm biting my nails because I ain't gonna lie. That's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty dicey there. For someone like myself.
It's so funny here, fucking D-Rose just like trying to like shit. I don't know what else to say now. Let me just say nothing until he gets back.
Like hell.
Yeah.
Just carry.
Let me see. Anyway, moving on to the next one. we have Basinger Susurkayev taking on Eric Nolan. So we talked about this Wednesday, D-Rose, for a brief moment. At the press conference, Eric Nolan had some words for Susurkayev, huh? Like he called him Khamzat's little butt buddy.
Oh wow, I did not. I did not actually watch the press conference, so that you're actually breaking news to me on that. I was not aware that he said that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so he said that. So at the face-offs, he kind of grabbed a hold of him. Who actually knows what he said there, but man, Susurkayev minus 950 the favorite. Eric Nolan's plus 625 the underdog. Over under here is 1.5. The over is plus 150. The under minus 195. But Susurkayev to win and under like around 1.5 is like minus 220. So if you're doing Susurkayev, you might as well just take the under 1.5 here. So I'm on Susurkayev round 1 knockout. How about you, man?
Yeah, I'm going to go Susurkayev round 1 KO as well. But I will say I'm not going to bet this that much because Eric Nolan, I saw some of his highlights. I mean, I know he fights at 170, but dude, he sleeps dudes. Like he's got a couple like nasty knockouts himself. He goes for the finish in all his fights, and I think it could be potentially fun for as long as it lasts.
Yeah. Are you on the under 1.5 or you have any interest in betting at all?
I'm staying away. I'd rather do that than, especially just two newcomers. Susurkayev just fought Tuesday and he's turning around and fighting on Saturday. It's just there's a lot of variables, man, and I just don't want to mess with it.
Mm-hmm. Like we've literally never seen a guy win on Tuesday and then on the following card on Saturday. It would be historic. He's on the prelims for a reason. He's actually, I think they put him above. They either put him right above Tim.
I think they. To me, it looks like the way they have it lined up on like the ESPN app and on FanDuel, it looks like Susurkayev is the main event of the prelims.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Earlier, they had him like right above Tim Elliott, like it was going to be 6 fights on the main card. So it looks like they're going to put it as the main event on the prelims. So that's pretty sick. That makes sense. Do you like the tape on Susurkayev, or does he need more work? I personally, when I was looking at him for the Contender Series, I was really impressed at, dude, his confidence when he starts getting going, dude. It's like he's like Kevin Holland, but beating the shit out of you, dude. Like he's just talking shit to you while he's beating the shit out of you. Pretty entertaining in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he and obviously he's still early in his career, so need more work. You can still like what you see on tape and still recognize that a guy needs work, just as far as him just getting battle tested in there against guys who are really going to be able to push him. And how is he going to look when he resorts to a plan B or plan C or anything like that? So, but yeah, obviously needs more work, but yeah, the kid looks good so far.
Yeah, indeed. I'd like to know if you guys are will we be playing the fight? No, we will not be playing the fight, man. This is not the UFC. Do you think they should add a winner Dana White Contender Series in October, but comes back in like February? I don't know. Maybe.
They end up doing the Ultimate Fighter and stuff, so they end up getting people from there. So I think I saw something where Dana did say that he might want to do something like that. But for right now, I like how they do the Contender Series. It's not too much of it.
Yeah, same. And it's like fun when it comes around again. Like, oh shit, we got fights on Tuesday nights for 10 weeks, in a row. So
right, yeah. Sick. So you know how it is with like you got seasonal sports like your NBAs, your NFLs. They come around every so often during the year. And when the season gets ready to start, very similar to football right now, everybody starts getting excited. That's our kind of contender series has that kind of excitement when kind of that fall time comes and you're going to get, as you said, 10 straight Tuesdays of fights. But yeah, I like just the fall time. Keep it fresh, man. We got fights every Saturday as it is. Just keep the product fresh if you can.
Indeed. Moving on to the next fight, we got awkward Tim Elliott taking on Kai Asakura. Tim Elliott plus 250, the underdog. Asakura is minus 310, the favorite. Over under here is 2.5. The over is minus 130. The under is plus 100. I know a lot of people are thinking Kai Asakura is going to knock out Tim Elliott this weekend, man, and it could happen. Don't get me wrong. Tim Elliott never been knocked out though, and I don't know if it's going to happen this weekend. But this will only be the second time we're seeing Kai Asakura. I like Kai Asakura 3 or decision, but officially, I'm going Kai Asakura via decision, I think, man. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you on that 3 or decision prop there. With Kai Asakura, I'm going to stick with Kai Asakura by decision. Maybe a late finish, but as you said, Tim Elliott's never been finished, and he's normally a pretty tough dude. So I'm going to stick with Asakura by decision.
Dude, I don't is like fucking someone playing a cruel joke on me like this whole week. I got this fucking can of soda, this 12-pack, right? And like 9 of the 12 of them have been like this on the bottom, so I can't set it down because it just rolls, dude. It's like someone's playing a cruel joke on me, dude. So I have to like prop it up like on something so I can set it down, dude. It's mean. Who did that to me?
That's sad. You got to get you like a cup or a bottle or something like that to pour it over into.
Yeah. Daniel White Contender Series is way better watched than tough. Indeed, Dave, without a doubt. So, moving on to the next one, we got Michael Venom Page taking on, I know it's hard to see him, but he's up there. We got the Killer Gorilla, Jared Cannonier. Man, yeah, I think I was kind of worried earlier in the week about, MVP maybe being able to get clipped by Jared Cannonier, but I think the more that this week's going on, it's just like, man, MVP still moves so well up at 185, and not really much is changing, from him at 170. And Jared Cannonier over his past few fights, dude, he has just, if we're going to be honest, he has been looking a little bit slower. And before the Hobo Cop knockout, dude, those 2 fights, he was just kind of like, once he got cracked one time, he was just kind of backing up to the fence and just kind of waiting, dude. And I don't like that look. It's kind of like Tyron Woodley in his like later days. He would get clipped once and just move back to the fence and just stay there. So for me, it's MVP 3 or decision, but I don't hate the MVP KO 2 or 3 props this week. How about you, man?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with MVP here, but the thing that cautions me is look at the arm difference between the 2 dudes. Like, dude, the shape that Jared Cannonier is in is absolutely insane. MVP is not a middleweight at all. I know that he said that he's been taking fights at middleweight because basically it's been, I guess, the fights that have been more worth his time at 185, but he would prefer to be at 170. He definitely needs to move back to 170 after this because he's not beating,
or at least,
or
at least like lift, do something, It's like you're not doing anything to put on any size or anything.
Well, he said he still prefers to fight at 170, so I'm sure he probably would want to keep his body ready for 170 if he is to go back down. So, but I still think the speed, Venom Page got enough power. And I think just his style is enough to get it done. I want to say MVP by decision.
Okay, fair enough. Me and D-Rose both on MVP via decision. Do you think Kai is young enough to challenge for the belt again? Young enough, yes. Will he? I don't know. I think Jared has beaten the way better guys. I think he probably has as well. But, it's the older Jared at this point. This fight will determine if Jared can grab this dude or not. Most likely, MVP, he keeps calling Jared Kevin Hart. Yeah, man, he does indeed. All right, so moving on to what used to be the co-main event of the evening, but now it's the featured fight of the night. It is Hands of Steel, Jeff Neal, taking on Carlos, the Nightmare Prates. Oh, man. D-Rose, have you ever had a feeling like earlier in the week when I said Carlos Prates round 2 knockout, and then now the week has gone on more and more, dude, something tells me this fight has a chance to go to decision, man?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand. I mean, my initial pick was by decision for college protest, and I don't know. I think for me, the Leach fight was what got in my mind because I was like, yeah, Leach has never been KO'd, and then all of a sudden, Protest goes out there and just slaps him around and just completely flatlines him. So obviously, Jeff Neal's a much more smarter fighter on the feet than the Leach is, but Protest got that power, man. So, but I can see why you would think decision.
Yeah. I don't know, man, but it's for me, it's either Carlos Protest KO 2-3 or Carlos Protest 3 or decision. Maybe it's Carlos Protest round 3 knockout. Jeff Neal does like to get, you know, finish in the third round. At least Shavkat did. Dude, what if Carlos Protest has to resort to the standing rear naked choke in the third round?
That would be pretty wild. Maybe he uses his slick smoker fingers and locks in that choke. You never know.
Yeah, dude. But if Protest is actually kind of looking at Jeff Neal like he fucking stole his fucking cigarettes or something, dude. Look at the way he's looking at him. He's like, "Did you take my cigarettes?"
That bro, I know I had 19 in there, and I came back and I only had 17. What's up?
Did you take 2 cigarettes? Do they put Carlos back on the fast track if he wins? I mean, if we're going to be real, I don't really think he's going down too much from the Ian Gary fight. Like fucking Jeff Neal is still there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the actual co-main event. Lerone, the Miracle Murphy, taking on Aaron Pico. Yeah, man. Odds for the fight are Lerone Murphy plus 154, Aaron Pico minus 185. The over/under here is 2.5. The over is minus 215. The under is plus 165. I am on Lerone Murphy via decision here, man, and it's all because I need to see Aaron Pico against UFC level competition before I can pick him. And for the most part, that's been working all right. And Lerone Murphy via decision is plus 250. He is the dog, so I'll take it. He's the bigger guy, a lot more UFC level competition. We'll see how Aaron Pico does in the UFC after this weekend. Lerone Murphy via decision for me. How about you, DeRose?
Yeah, I want to stick with my pick, Pico by decision, and I think the longer the week is going on, I looked into, Lerone Murphy, as far as like some of his older fights, and I forgot in the Makwan Amirkhani fight, like he got held down for a good portion in the first round. He got taken down a couple times by Josh Emmett. I mean, I know Josh Emmett didn't hold him down forever, but I mean, when did Josh Emmett ever use his wrestling? And he was able to take Lerone Murphy down. And Aaron Pico does have that ability. Now, he has to go out there and actually try to take the fight to the ground. But I do think he realizes the danger that Lerone Murphy can bring if you try to keep it on the feet. I think, he ends up getting the fight down to the ground. Ends up being more of this controlled wrestling type. It might not be the most explosive entry to the UFC, but I do think that Pico gets it done by decision.
Fair enough. Antoine San also didn't know Jeff was married, and he has a beautiful family. All right. You saw that Aaron admitted he'll be very notorious for his debut. Okay. Anyway, does Lerone leapfrog Mofsar for a title shot if he wins? I don't think so. I think they might rebook that fight. Wait, what did they say? Very nervous. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Dude,
I was like,
I can't read. I can't read.
B-I-G?
I can't read.
No.
Do you think he leapfrogs Mobsar, dearest?
If he knocks Lerone Murphy out, yes.
If he just wins, I don't know.
If it's a boring decision, he probably doesn't.
All right.
And I do think I think this fight is probably not going to be the best, but if Aaron Pico can beat a guy like Lerone Murphy, he'll probably be at least one fight away.
Indeed. So I guess before we get to the main event, you guys are probably like, hey, what happened to the rest of the fights? Yeah. So Brian Battle versus Nursultan Rizaboev. Sick. That fight is off because Brian Battle missed weight up at 185. By 4 pounds. 4 pounds, Leroy. He weighed 190 for a fight at 185 after missing basically the same amount at 170, man. Like, what is going on with Brian Battle?
And the crazy part is, you're going up a weight class. You're not going up 10 pounds. It's the rare go up in weight class where you go up 15 pounds. So you go from 170 to 185. 185 is where you won the Ultimate Fighter, and you still miss weight at 185, weighing in at 190. Now the fight's scrapped. Brian Battle is a dude who had all the juice after that Kevin Jussier fight, and he has lost every single bit of it within the snap of a finger, dude. Like, and honestly, it's gonna be hard for him to get back in the UFC's good graces. And I think he's still gonna be on the roster, but another slip up like this, man, and I would not be surprised if he was to get cut.
Yeah, man. I don't think they cut him after this one, but if it happens again, dude, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean that's 2 times now, and this is the second time. And I'd even made the comment to you in our messages, but I'm like, does Brian Battle miss weight on purpose just for a weight advantage? Like, he did it against Gabe Green, he did it against Randy Brown, and then coming into this fight against Nursultan, it's like, do you just not make weight so you're willing to give up 30% of your purse and still have the weight advantage? Like, I'm almost starting to think that is almost kind of intentional at this point, or you're just not really paying attention. So yeah, hopefully he can get it right, because Brian Battle is a guy I do like to watch, and he is a fun fighter, fun on the mic, but man, he's really got to get it together.
Yeah, man, it's almost like what is it? That fucking Lipe Daytona, like he went from like 125 to 135 to 145, dude. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like, absolutely nuts, absolutely nuts. And then King Green. Let me not call him out of his name. King Green versus Carlos Diego Ferreira fell off. Was it last night when I think Bobby Green has an unknown injury and he says he can't walk? What's your thoughts on that one? Because we did pick different there.
Yeah, that one that sucks. And King Green is not a guy who ever pulls out a fight. So when you see him, make the comments that he made about him not being able to walk, you got to kind of take his word for it. Green's one of the OGs of the game, the ones who they never pull out of fights as long as they can walk. And unfortunately, in this case, Green wasn't able to.
Yep, I agree. So that being said, that is all the fights that are not happening. So let's get back to the main event of the evening. If you guys haven't already, hit that motherfucking thumbs up button for you boys. So you know how the algorithm works. We need those thumbs ups to get people to view us. Main event time. Dricus Duplessis is plus 215, the underdog. Khamzat Chimaev is minus 265, the favorite. D-Rose. This line has got wider and wider all week now. Over under here is 2.5. The over is minus 110. The under is minus 120, dude. And that's kind of surprising, dude, because if the over is minus 110 and the under is minus 120, you would think the odds would be around the same, depending on how everyone is talking about this fight, because it's like Dricus late, Khamzat early. Unless Khamzat goes out there and fucking finishes Dricus in the first round, and then the odds kind of make sense. But that's what I'm picking to happen, man. I'm going Khamzat round 1, round 2 submission, something like that, dude. I think Khamzat rolls over Dricus like he's rolled over everyone else. I don't think Dricus has the scramble ability that Kevin Holland had, and we saw how Khamzat just stayed on top then. We know Khamzat doesn't have Dricus doesn't have the takedown ability or the ability of takedown defense as where Rob Whittaker was able to take him down. So I just don't see, Dricus being able to stay off the ground, and I'm going to give Khamzat round 1 submission. What's your thoughts on on the odds to the fight, and then your pick, D-Rose.
Yeah, I think the odds are a little bit crazy, and I will say that FanDuel is offering a 50% boost on
Yeah,
whoever you pick for the main event.
haven't used it yet.
Yeah, I will say I went ahead. I used mine. I put it on Dricus, and it max bet me on $10, but it's 10 to win 39. So I'm not gonna be too upset about that if he's able to get it done. The face off, from the one angle on the embedded video when it shows Khamzat from behind. I'm glad Dricus made the comment that he did earlier in the week, talking about he faced off against Godzilla. Because everybody was talking about how big Khamzat is, but dude, they're face to face, and there has not been too many times in the UFC where Khamzat has faced somebody who is of similar size to him. And I would think, bulk wise, I would say DDP is probably the more muscular of the two. That doesn't necessarily equate to muscles, but I think that Dricus is going to be able to hold his own. Khamzat's going to get the takedown. He's going to get it. The thing for me is that, what is DDP going to do to be able to get back to his feet, or just the resilience and not giving up and frustrating Khamzat in those positions to where he kind of discourages him, and Dricus is still there for the long haul. So, I'm still going to stick with Dricus here. I said late finish. I'm probably going to go decision, because Khamzat, it's not that he's not capable of digging deep. He, obviously he dug deep against Gilbert Burns to get that fight done, and didn't even take the fight to the ground at all. But that was also against Gilbert Burns, a guy who used to fight at 155. Are you going to be able to take those kinds of shots from Dricus and not sustain the damage from it after a while? It's just going to be tough to imagine that. So I think it does end up being a little bit of a dogfight, maybe Volk Islam 1 type, but I'm going to stick with Dricus here. I'll still stick with a late finish.
All right. Me and D-Rose split on the main event. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different picks on the card, which means that will be the 5 different fights for the pick champ, D-Rose. So no need to change anything around. We still got the 5, man. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 6 to begin with, and then 3 fights fell off, and we ended up with 5 different picks, man. So that just works.
Yeah, that Andrade and Loopy, that face off, oof, that did not make me feel good for Loopy at all.
Nah, me either. But as I said, I don't have really many bets on that fight. If any, dude, I don't even know if I have any, if I'm going to be real. Like we saw Khamzat pick up DC and during around the Rosie, D-Rose sent me that, dude. Khamzat was on short notice. I mean, Kamara was on short notice indeed. So, D-Rose, let's get to some fun parts of the show. I am going to stop sharing and then share my other screen, because we are going to give you guys the best bets that we have for this card, and we package it up in what's called the cheese wheel. So I'm going to get that pulled up, make sure the sound is on, make sure you guys can hear the cheese wheel, and we'll give you our options. So our options for the cheese wheel, as always, are 3-leg parlay, an underdog, a prop, a over-under, a finish, or a 3 or decision. D-Rose, were you ready this week, or did you forget about it as usual?
I forgot about the 3-leg, so I hope I don't go.
Okay. Well, I have the 3-leg. I have the 3-leg, and it's about even money. And it wouldn't surprise me if I just gave it to you, you'd be like, "I'll take it," because I think we're on the same people there. So, all right. So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first, man?
I'll go first.
All right. So, D-Rose going first on the cheese wheel, and his first slice, his first cheese wheel will be your prop, D-Rose. What is your prop for UFC 319?
So prop, I will say this is a little bit of a long shot. Again, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but I do think I like Karine Silva to get the job done by submission. And
Okay.
Karine Silva submission round 2 or 3 is at
Okay.
plus 900 right now.
Okay,
So
mine was the same, but for GM3, so I don't hate it, man. So
yeah,
solid pick. I don't hate that. I think I might have that parlayed up in a little sub parlay that's like Karine Silva sub, Chase Hooper sub, and Khamzat sub, something like that, with them all sub 2-3 or 1-2-3 for Khamzat. You know, a little sub special parlay. And I know you don't like the Khamzat, but you know, it's all right. So D Rose's 3-leg, I'm sorry, D Rose's prop is Silva sub 2-3 plus 900. All right, so let me give this a spin here, and hopefully I get the 3-leg so I can take it away from D Rose so you don't have to share with you guys. Oh, just kidding. All right, so over under here for me, I am going pretty much as safe as you can be, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure this is hitting, and it's Susurkaya versus Nolan under 1.5 at minus 195. I just think Susurkaya crushes the dude in the first round, so I like that under 1.5. And you know, if by chance Nolan, you know, has the power that D Rose says that he has, I guess Susurkaya could also get cracked himself there in under 1.5. So Susurkaya versus Nolan under 1.5 at minus 195. I know. What do you think about that, D Rose? You're like, I'm not touching that fight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very good chance that that fight goes under. I think just because of the short notice nature of it. It just scares me betting that fight in general. But if I was to take anything in this fight, it would be the under.
All right. Fair enough. Moving on to, I keep clicking the one on the screen and not actually over here. Moving on to D Rose. Next spin. He's going to end up getting a 3-leg. There it is. I knew it.
I put a quick one together.
All right. Let's see if it's the same as mine.
Nothing too crazy.
All right.
I'm actually just picking straight winners, straight money line.
Yep.
Nothing too crazy here.
Yep.
I got a 3-leg that we'll present later on. But for right now, I just got Chase Hooper, Michal Olszewski, Drakkar plus all money line, and that's at plus 322. So $10 pays you back $42.20 in total. So I want to go Michal Olszewski money line, Drakkar close money line, Chase Hooper money line.
All right, and it's plus what? 3
plus 322.
322. All right. Mine, D Rose. Let's hear your thoughts about this one. You know, I'm not sharing this with you guys as my, you know, well, this would have been mine if I would have got the 3-leg, but it's Alibi, Hooper, and Kayasakura at plus 110.
Yeah.
It's safe, easy, all 3 fucking money lines, and I swear to God, if they don't win, my night's going to be ruined.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people got a lot of money on Chase Hooper to get it done.
Yeah. Have y'all ever had a real cheese? You know how big that is, Antoine? A real cheese wheel? I mean, like the small ones, yeah, but one that's a giant one, no. I've never had a cheese wheel. All right.
I've seen people do the cheese wheel race, not in person, but on TV. Those are funny. They do like the cheese wheel race down the hill. They roll it, and all of a sudden you see people that's like rolling down hills like barrels going after a cheese wheel. It's hilarious.
I've never seen that. So we'll see what I get, D Rose. It looks like I'm going to get the 3 or decision. All right, so 3 or decision. I'm going Lerone Murphy 3 or decision at plus 220. I think he beats Aaron Pico. It's just a spot where I just need to see Aaron Pico compete in the UFC before I am willing to put my money on him, and I know Lerone Murphy's good. He's undefeated and has a lot of fights in the UFC and beating some pretty good competition. So Lerone Murphy, 3 or decision, plus 220 for me. And if you want to just do Lerone Murphy via decision, it's plus 250. All right, D-Rose, you got the underdog in the finish. Hopefully you get the underdog because, man, my underdog's also Lerone Murphy. I don't want to just do the same 2 things in a row. What the hell?
Oh.
All right.
Oh, that stinks.
I'll change my underdog.
Yeah. So finish here. I mean, I don't want to go back. I don't want to double back. So let's just go. Let's go Michal Olashejchak. I mean, you can get him at KO at minus 110 right now. Or if you're to take him on a double chance, and that is for KO or by submission, you can get it at minus 150. So not the best of odds, probably a parlay piece, if anything. But I want to go Michal Olashejchak. Knockout is actually it's minus 115. I'm sorry. By KO is minus 115, and by KO or submission, it's minus 150.
All right.
I'm going to give Michal Olashejchak my finish.
Which leaves me with the dog. And contrary to D Rose's best bet for finish, my best bet for underdog is GM3 money line, facing D Rose's best bet for the finish. So me and D Rose going head to head this week in his finish versus my underdog. One of us has got to win, D Rose. One of us has to be right? Unless Michal wins via decision, and then we're both wrong.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Both of us putting some of our best bets head to head. Let's see who gets it done.
All right, D-Rose. So for our best bets this weekend, thanks to the Cheese Wheel for helping us decide. We have over under. My pick for that is the under, and between the Susurkayev and what's his name? Eric Nolan. Is that it? Yeah. Is the under between the Susurkayev and Nolan fight? That's my under. D Rose's prop is not Natalia Silva, Karine Silva sub 2-3. My 3 or decision is Lerone Murphy 3 or decision. D Rose's 3-leg parlay is Michal Olashejchak, Jakar Close, and Chase Hooper at plus 322. My underdog is GM3 moneyline at plus 180, and D Rose's finish prop is Michal Olashejchak KO at minus 115. Sound right?
Yeah.
All right, D Rose. So in the meantime, I'm going to pull up my confidence parlay, if you will, and then I need to share D Rose's 2 parlays to my computer so we can talk about those because I do not have them shared yet. So we'll pull this one up first and we'll talk about it. Well, just kidding. That is the Cheese Wheel.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. There we go. So up first, the confidence parlay of the week. I'm sure my screen's going to end up glitching out here in a second while this thing uploads one. Anyway, confidence parlay is boosted because FanDuel and DraftKings both have boost, and FanDuel's been treating me right, dude. They gave me like 5-10% boost and a 30% boost. Of course, my screen goes down now. So yeah, my confidence parlay this week is an 8-leg parlay, $10 to win $133, boosted 30%. But if it's not boosted, it's plus 950, so 10 would win back $105 to be exact. So boosted or not boosted, $10 wins back over $100, and it goes like this: 8-leg parlay plus 1235, and it starts off with Alibi Idris moneyline, Karine Silva moneyline, Cheddar moneyline, Susurkayev moneyline, Kaya Sakura moneyline, MVP moneyline, Carlos Prates moneyline, Ron Murphy versus Aaron Pico to go over 2.5 rounds, basically to go the distance. $10 on that. If all 8 legs hit, win back $133.55. Thoughts on that one, Deros?
Yeah, I mean, I really like that one. I mean, it's all the fighters that I picked, money line, and then I got a very good feeling that co-main's going to go over. So yeah, that's something that I like, man. That's a nice little play.
Oh shit! All right. So with that being said, I want to share one of D Rose's, and I'm gonna let him talk you through that. So I'll share this. I believe this is a $10 one first, D Rose. Let me share that.
Yeah, if it's
And
like that's your
well, that's the same one I just now shared. Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
There
There
we
you go.
go.
But yeah, I tried to do a little just same with the boost. FanDuel's been a little bit generous with the boost here as of late. So just trying to see if I can go ahead and just juice this a little bit, and maybe you can call this the reimburse yourself for the pay-per-view, because it is gonna, fall in line with the main card here. But Karine Silva money line, Jakar Close and Edson Barboza to start round 2, Kai Asakura round 3 or by decision, Carlos Prates money line. And for Aaron Pico and Lerone Murphy to start round 2, $10 wins you 79.68 with a 30% boost. That's enough, except for a little bit of change to cover that pay-per-view. So let's try to watch it on the sports books now.
All right. So this D Rose's reimbursement for the pay-per-view parlay there. Yeah. So which one are we at? Let's go ahead and remove it so we don't end up sharing that one again, because I like to do that. And we'll move on to my second one, which is a $5 parlay, a little bit more risky, but it also is on DraftKings. So for everyone that's always like, hey, I can't find that, where's it at? I don't have FanDuel. Got a DraftKings to share with you guys. So, shout out to all my DK users over there under that parlay section. You'll find these fighter to win and over 1.5. So $5 to win $313.57. 5 legs, it's a plus 6,171, and it goes like this: Idris Alibi to win and over 1.5 rounds. Chase Hooper to win and over 1.5 rounds. GM3 to win in over 1.5 rounds. Kai Asakura to win in over 1.5 rounds. And to close it out, we're going Lerone Murphy to win via decision. $5 on that wins back $313.57. I know you're going the opposite way on a few of them, D Rose, but what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
Indeed.
you got to take shots where you can. Got to get a little value on some dogs. So I can't blame you, but I can't be all the way in there.
All right, and D Rose's second parlay. Let's hear
it. Yeah. This is my little my cycle parlay for what I like to play this week. And really, I really like that line for Chase Hooper by points, man. Chase Hooper by points, about plus 220. Karine Silva by submission at plus 430, and Michal Oleksiejczuk by KO at minus 110. I got that earlier in the week. That gets you at a plus 31.37 odds. I put $5 on it. Total payouts 161. You bet $10 on that, you're looking at a $300 payout. $300 some odd dollar payout. So that's pretty good return on investment there, in my opinion. And especially the bottom two, I feel very good about. Karine Silva by submission. She should get it done by submission, but that is the odds are a little bit bigger on Karine Silva by submission for a reason, but I still feel like she can get it done.
All right. And my last one, D Rose, $5. The big daddy this week, chasing the big one. $5 to win $2,403.20. And it goes like this: Chase Hooper to win by submission in round 2 or 3. Michael Venom Page to win by knockout in round 2 or 3. Carlos Prates to win by knockout in round 2 or 3. And Khamzat Chimaev to win by submission in round 1, 2, or 3. $5 on that. If we can hit all 4 legs, returns $2,400.20. It's a plus a big number, but would it be the biggest parlay that I've ever shared with you guys that hit? Absolutely. And every single week, I'm here trying to share with you guys the biggest parlay that we can hit on the channel, because I think the biggest parlay so far, D Rose, has been like 800. I think that's been the biggest one.
I believe so.
And it was like a 2-leg like sub Sean Brady over Leon Edwards and like one other sub. It was like a 2-leg, like fucking $5 to win 800 or some shit like that. And like that's been the biggest one that I've shared. So if we can hit 2 bands, I'd be happy. Thoughts on that one, D Rose? I know you're opposite in the main event, but
yeah, I mean, otherwise, again, you're looking for the big odds here and everything. So yeah, $5 to win 2,400. Hell, that's worth $5 in my opinion.
all right. Do you think MVP's got a chance to knock out Jared Cannonier?
Cannonier does get hurt, and we've seen him drop in some of his fights. My biggest worry is that it does seem like that MVP's power doesn't carry at the 170 as well as or up to 185 as it holds at 170. But Jared Cannonier gets hurt, so it's possible.
Interesting. All right. Antoine wants to know, do y'all remember the first bet you ever made? I remember the first bet I ever won on MMA. It was Henry Cejudo to beat Demetrius Johnson the second time. I put $20 on that, and I like won back like 250. And I think I was hooked at that point.
Yeah, because I think that's when you were using my bookie.
Yep.
Yeah, so you were using my bookie. I tried to use my bookie a couple times, and I just couldn't rock with them. And then,
dude, it's a pain in the ass to get your money out because you like it's fucking via crypto, so you have to have a Coinbase or something like that to also then send your crypto to, and then you can send it to your PayPal or your bank from there. So
yeah,
a few extra steps, but it works still. And when I end up moving, I'm probably gonna go back to it.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying, but on there. But man, the first bet, man, I had to. I mean, as far as I bet on FanDuel, for FanDuel Fantasy since like 2014. So like I've been on there, playing like football. So there's a couple of plays where I've won like in a couple of football games like that, if that's what you want to consider gambling. But in terms of like the sports books getting legal and stuff like that,
it was in 2021 then.
Right. Yeah, so I was gonna say, yeah, it was in 2021. Man, I don't even know. I'd had to look back on that year. What I remember, I bet Clay Guida to beat Michael Johnson. I remember I was real big on that, and I told you I was like, man, Clay Guida's going to get it done. And I think you would bet Michael Johnson, and you were pretty upset with Michael Johnson losing that fight.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember that. I remember betting on Clay Guida, and I think I bet him straight, and I bet him to win by decision. Or I think I bet on the win by decision as well. It was something crazy like that.
Yeah. If you were given $100,000, would you bet it or? I'm sure some of it would go to bets, but the majority of that's going to pay off some bills, Antoine.
Yeah.
Man, fuck, you can't bet where you're going. That's pretty. I mean, there's no FanDuel. There's no legal sports betting in Texas as of right now, but they're trying to get it legal there, Dave. I'm sure it'll be later in like 2 years or so, something like that. But there's ways around it. Man. So, D Rose, the only thing we haven't covered because we didn't touch it earlier in the week was the fisting of the week. Who is getting fisted this weekend, man? And I think from remembering back from all of our picks and everything, I think there's only one fight that me and you agreed on a knockout in.
What do you mean? Like we always
choose
a different method of finish?
No, like fucking looking back like this week, there's only one fight that we agreed on, that we both agreed on the winner to finish the opponent, and that was Carlos Prates over Jeff Neal. Right. So I think that's probably our only contender for fisting of the week, and man, I don't feel great about it.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a KO. I mean, what was the one that we won earlier in the year, and the guy he beat Matthews?
he still won, like
Tournament,
so.
He
Yes,
smashed him in the first round sub. He smashed it was the first round sub, but I mean fisting. I mean, that's
yeah,
I consider getting I consider fisting like somebody who's getting smoked.
yeah.
You know what I
Me
mean?
too.
And I
But
mean,
like, I prefer it to be like Malcolm Wellmaker over Chris Moutinho, or fucking Malcolm Wellmaker
or
over.
Suzukayev over Eric Nolan. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fucking
Oh
right.
yeah, dude.
It's right
Let's
in our
do
face.
that. Let's do that.
Come on,
Susurkayev,
man.
Eric Nolan. But the reason why I guess I forgot about is because you're like You're like, I'm staying away from that one. I'm not
getting the fight, but I
yeah.
still predicted Suzukayev to get a round 1 KO. I'm just not
Okay.
betting the fight. That doesn't mean
Okay.
I don't think that Suzukayev gets a round 1 KO.
All right. So our fisting of the week will be Susurkayev to fist Eric Nolan in round number 1. And if you guys want exact odds for that, it is Susurkayev round 1 knockout is -110. So even money for the fisting of the week, man. But it's got to happen in the first round.
Hey, as long as he gets a KO, man, go out there and get it done.
Yeah, Dave's not a fan of Texas.
That is pretty whack, though.
Yeah. What's your favorite fight on the card outside the main event? Oh, I do like Jeff Neal, Carlos Prates. I like that one, dude.
Yeah, probably that one. Yeah.
I like Hooper Hernandez. That's a fun one too. And now fucking
Susurkayev
in the UFC.
I really like the co-main event, just like I said, because I'm a Murphy fan, or I'm a Pico fan, and Murphy's a really good fighter, so I think that's a good challenge for Pico coming over. So I do think the card has spots where like maybe like the winner in all these fights, maybe they're not going to fight for a title next, but all these fights definitely have potential fun for all of them.
Fair enough. Do you guys work tomorrow? I do not. I know D Rose does. Out there slinging them keys.
Yep, and I got to work until 8:00 tomorrow, so probably gonna be watching the first part of the prelims on my phone. But I live right down the road from work, so as long as I can slide out at 7:55, I'll make it home right before the TV portion of the prelims start.
Fair enough. Y'all haven't answered. If Dricus wins, then make him the 3rd greatest middleweight of all time based on resume. Let's see. We got Izzy, Anderson,
Wyman, Rich Franklin.
I think if he wins this one this week, no. If he goes on to win 2 more, I think that'll solidify him as 3rd greatest behind Anderson and Izzy.
No, well, right, but that's what I'm saying. So if because Chris Weidman has 2 defenses. So
yeah,
if
but
gets this makes it his 3rd, and so Weidman beat Anderson Silva. But after that, he did not beat anybody on the level of a Khamzat. And I think that would be what would take.
Oh, so you're taking the level of fights over like longevity, kind of.
What, in terms of title reign with Wyman?
Yeah.
Because really, that's the argument on who's 3rd between Wyman and him. I mean, Wyman may have technically held it for a longer period of time, but again, DDP is looking at his 3rd defense here. So yeah, I think for me, again, personally, I think I do think DDP would be considered the 3rd greatest of all time.
Fair. I don't know. I just think he's so ass, dude. I mean, he's good. He's the champion. He's winning, but I just
you gotta look past the style. You gotta look at what's on paper, man. And again, if he beats Khamzat, we recognize the wrecking ball that Khamzat is. If you beat a guy like that, like, I'm sorry, I know Chris Weidman beat Anderson Silva, but Anderson Silva was also older and everything at that point. Chris Weidman does not have a win on his resume that's even close to what a win over Khamzat would be for DDP, and DDP would have more title defenses than him. I just don't see how that wouldn't be the case.
Who wins between Dricus and Prom Chris? Dude, I think Prom Chris Weidman was a problem, dude, and it was like known before he even got to the UFC that he was a fucking problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
That'd be a good fight, Antoine. I don't know.
maybe we're in the moment, but I think I would favor Dricus, man. I will say, because I heard, and I'll say I might not have answered that question so confidently if I did not hear Weidman say earlier on the weigh-in show about how when he was undefeated before he fought Luke Rockhold, he wasn't able to get guys like him in the locker room. So Weidman kind of had his way with pretty much everybody that he fought. And once he faced a little bit of resistance and a guy like Luke Rockhold, it kind of shattered his confidence a little bit, especially when he lost. DDP, I mean, who have we seen him have his confidence shattered against? You know, I mean, obviously he hasn't faced a loss at this point, but he's faced a lot of adversity in his fights and has been able to turn it around. So something that Weidman didn't really face much in his career until his losses. So I would probably still favor DDP.
That's fair. And Dave wants to know about Mike Bisping. Everyone overlooking Mike Bisping. I just think it was his overall career was great, but as far as like putting him up there as the greatest middleweight champions, Dave, that's I don't know, Dave.
Yeah. Definitely not one of the greatest middleweight champions. You know, like you said, hell of a resume, got a shitload of fights, and down in the record books for I'm sure some of his performances and stuff like that. Forever a champion. You can never take it away from him, but he's not top 3.
Yeah, man. So that's gonna be it for the show. We have done it all. We went through all of our picks and predictions for every fight on the card, gave you our best bets with the cheese wheel. Then me and D-Rose gave you each. D-Rose gave you 2 parlays. I gave you 3 parlays. We redid the pick champ and gave you a fisting of the week. That was Change the Cheddar, kind of the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. A little bit of mixture here on both that don't base the greatest juice. That's fair. Did you guys think Luke was going to take over? I don't think D-Rose was a big fan of Luke, were you?
Wait, what am I missing? Luke?
Luke Rockhold?
Oh, yeah, I was never the biggest. Yeah, I was never the biggest Luke fan, but I recognize his talent. But I was never I was never the biggest Luke Rockhold fan because obviously he was a little bit of a douche.
Douchebag, yeah.
He is a little bit of a douche. So yeah, I mean, why would you like him? But he was I mean, he was a really good talent too. But another guy, same way. As soon as he lost his first couple fights in the UFC, he just got kind of shattered.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, my name is Matt D-Rose on that cyber screen. This has been Change the Cheddar right here on the Golden Octagon. If you guys want to catch us tomorrow night for the main card, D-Rose, you want to do a main card live stream?
We'll be there.
All right. With that being said, 10 p.m. right here, Golden Octagon MMA channel tomorrow night. Main card live stream with you boys. So if you don't got anything to do, feel free to stop by, say what's up, hang out with us. And with that being said, we'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Peace.